It's very sweet of you. I will talk as much as possible in English, but there are definitely certain things that are only in Marathi, which I cannot ignore. So I will come to that. But just to sum up in just two sentences, we believe that the earth is, we have brought it from our children. It is not given to us by anyone. We are bringing it from the next generation to us. So it's our extremely important responsibility that we have to save it for the next generation.
We haven't inherited the earth, we have borrowed it from our children.
Yeah, so that's the correct sentence. So I work in a space which is in parenting and education, and we work, and what is the work that we are doing is what I will explain in couple of next 20 minutes tops, I said. So the name of the organization that I work with is called Palakneeti Pariwar. We are a charitable trust, and we have, and the philosophy goes like this. What is parenting? Okay, parenting is not just a relation between a child and a parent, a biological parent, or a parent who is looking after a child. It's much beyond that. The three aspects of it, the relation between child and a parent, and when we call it, there's a whole gamut of subjects that we are going to look at that. The second point is parenting of all children on earth does not have to be your own biological or children who are around you, in relation to you, which we call it as social parenting, samajik palakatva. That's the second aspect. And the third thing is your own self-parenting, your own parenting. Because at times you also need help. You are not full-fledged, you are not complete in that sense. So we work, and we work in all the three aspects. The first thing is between child and parent. Obviously there are certain mundane things that you have to do with your children. You have to look after them for their security, for their safety, their well-being, definitely. But the most important aspect, and probably that gets missed out over a period of time, is what is it that you are giving it to them in terms of thoughts? What is it that you are actually telling them? And we believe that telling does not work at all. It's the role model that is standing in front of them, which is what they are observing, which is what they will look at you. And many a times we have seen it that children don't do what you tell them to do. They observe, they look at you, and they mimic. And that's what they actually are going to carry forward. That's the true inheritance. So when we say that we have to be what we are advocating, and how do we actually become the person that we want to be? It's a whole journey, right? So it's never something that is stagnant or told at a certain time and said ki abhi ho gaya, now I'm full, I'm a parent, so just follow what I'm saying, just follow what I'm trying to tell you. So we have 3 to 4 projects as a part of our organization, and I would not really call them as projects. खरं सांगायचं तर those ते आमचं काम आहे. Project becomes, something which is time bound, or it's got some commercial value, things like that. So that's why taking help of Marathi there. की ते काम आहे, ते त्याच्यासाठी आम्ही आहोत असं आपल्याला वाटतं. तर त्या कामाचा एक भाग आहे Palakneeti magazine. Palakneeti, it's a monthly that we come out with, and and I have got few copies of that. I will circulate it. Maybe you can have a look at it and read for yourself. Palakneeti Masik works for parenting, and when I say parenting, again it is not just everyday prescribed parenting of the sort, what to eat, what to give to your children. That is important, how to take care of them, etc., etc. It's more about what is your philosophy when you are saying that I'm bringing, I'm giving, I'm raising a child. With what philosophy are you raising a child? if you keep yourself out and say, and if, let's say for instance, if we support and say that Mula Mutha beautification is important and let's go riding in that boat wherein you are going to have beautiful flowers around and let's go picnicking. Is that what your philosophy is, or are you saying let's go to the riverbed, see for yourself how much garbage we are creating, let's pick it up, even if it means it is not done by you, let's pick it up and it becomes a part of your regular affair. Is this what we are doing, or are we on the other side, or are we somewhere in between wherein we support this but we may not do something actively? That is what is actually going to go to children. So पालकनीती मासिक त्यामधले अनेक लेख हे असे थॉट प्रोवोकिंग असणार आहेत, असतात. They are not necessarily something that you will be able to implement immediately. You will have to work on it yourself. स्वतःचा विचार घेऊन ते पुढे नेण्याचा त्यातला प्रयत्न असतो. त्यामुळे अशा प्रकारचे लेख त्याच्यामधून असणं हा एक भाग आमचा कामाचा आहे. दुसरा भाग, like I said, social parenting. As a part of that, we work with a very small community. It's a slum area in Kothurud, and the project is called as caregivers. It's for slum children of Kothurud area. There we have, again, why caregiver, why is it started, why was it started, and what is the philosophy of running that. त्याची सगळी मुळं ही पालकनीतीच्या थॉट प्रोसेसमध्ये आहेत. It's not about charity, okay, to the slum children, or it's also not about getting funding from somewhere and passing it on to development. And I'm not saying it to demean others who are working in that space. Definitely they have their own thoughts, and which is fair. We did not look at it that way because we think it is the right of those children to get good education, good environment, which otherwise they do not get. They do go to public schools and they do not necessarily get the the गुणवत्तापूर्ण शिक्षण ज्याला आपण म्हणतो, or they sometimes even do not get the right type of treatment from sometimes from teachers, sometimes from rest of us around them. So they don't feel like actually learning. So we feel that it is our duty that we should give them that space wherein they feel that they are happy learning what they are supposed to learn. And again, I'm not saying education, or I'm not also saying degree, I'm just saying learning. And what is learning? It's a process again. Learning is never again stagnant, that they have to do 10th grade, 12th grade. Obviously, those are some milestones which are important, but it should never end there. And the best learning we know, it happens when we want to learn. It only happens when we actually feel like learning. So giving them that kind of environment, or I should not even say giving them, it's having that space for them wherein they feel like learning. Now how do you create that space? We are using 3 particular mediums wherein of them making it available to them. One is it's khel, kala and samvad. Play, art and communication. So these are the 3 types of mediums through which we conduct some sessions for them. They come there. It's a very organized thing. It's also not just a free play. So imagine school going children from 1st grade to 10th grade coming for a while to those sessions, to the space, and they are taught how to learn a language, how to learn mathematics. What is the importance of science as a subject? What is history? What is it? So it's not that they are again repeating, it's not a tuition class, they are not repeating school homework there. They are getting exposed to areas through which the learning happens. So it is the medium, like I said, is play, so they play various things, but it is not disorganized play. It is worked out in such a way that it helps them get attracted to learning, get attracted to education. Obviously, it's a system, so it has its own classes, then there are trips organized, then there are lectures organized, then there's something called as Samvad Gat, wherein children come together, have discussions, they know how to think, you know. When you are actually discussing, wherever we are discussing here, what happens, it's not just information that is passed on to me by the one who is talking here. Through discussions we learn, we start thinking, and that's very important. So even the slum children, many a times we feel that they should be just taught, they should be given some vocational courses, they can join somewhere and that's it, that's the end of their probably education. Our philosophy is that once you give them this, you nudge them how to learn, they will probably do much better in their lives. It's not just the formal education. They may not stop at formal education, they will go further. Now this entire part, the caregiver, is what I am calling it as our social parenting. Because when we are not children, we are not just the parents of our own children, we are parents of everybody who needs it. वंचितांचं शिक्षण, वंचित जो है, जिनके पास कुछ नहीं है, या फिर जिनके पास जो है उसका capital, the knowledge capital or their own capital that they have, they do not know how to use it. And just an example, all caregiver children, they are the best when it comes to doing anything with hand. You ask them to do, you have a project wherein there is something that needs to be done with hands, they are the first ones. They are the best in that. Because city children, we know that hardly do anything with their hands, but slum children, or the ones who are not exposed to, as he said rightly, so-called education, they are the best when it comes to such things. So we work with such children, that's the second part. And for self-parenting, for self-help, like I said, we have the articles that we publish monthly through our magazine. I will share a couple of copies for Palakneeti magazine with whoever is interested in reading Marathi. Now, this is an organization which is 35 years old organization. So we have been publishing this magazine for last 30 years. The entire group has been working voluntarily, only with with the outlook that it should spread. The parenting thought has to be spread and not just parenting per se. So all those things are available on website. You all can go and read it. For social parenting, for caregiver, there is a donation system, etc., etc. That's a part of the system, so I'm not emphasizing much on that. I'm just introducing the philosophy out here. Now taking next 10 minutes for introducing the second work that I'm doing. It's again in the space of education. I'm also on the board of another organization called Navanirmiti Learning Foundation. Now we saw that we want to actually develop all children in the world. And सगळीकडे सगळ्यांनी चांगलं व्हावं अशी आपली इच्छा आहे आणि सगळ्या मुलांनी पुढे जाऊन चांगलं व्हावं अशी इच्छा आहे. त्यातलं एकच परत फोकस्ड एरिया वेअर वी वर्क इज सायन्स अँड मॅथ्स. अगेन त्यातलं मॅथ्स किंवा सायन्स हे कशासाठी, तर पुन्हा त्याच्यामध्ये थॉट प्रोसेस अशी आहे की ऑब्व्हियसली मेनी अ टाइम्स, आय एम नॉट सेइंग की बाकीचे सब्जेक्ट्स आपल्याला हे देत नाहीत, बट वी फील दॅट मॅथ्स इंट्रोड्युसेस प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्विंग. What are the faculties that actually helps us when we learn maths and science? So it is problem solving, it is analytical ability, questioning. All these abilities are important when the child is growing, right? It's obviously important that they know language, they have to understand social sciences, because otherwise they will not be able to connect the dots and do anything. So we work in this space of science and maths, and here also we think universalization of mathematics is important. Every child should be comfortable in mathematics. Now how do you achieve that? Is it possible to even achieve? Because traditionally we are taught that maths is a super brain, all those who are very smart and very brilliant people, they are the best ones in maths. सगळ्यांना काय मॅथ्स येत नसतं, तो ब्रेन घेऊन आलात तुम्ही तरच येतं वगैरे वगैरे. So that's how we are taught, right? That's in our mind. We think no, it is possible, and again we have proven methodology for it, because we do not teach maths on the board. We teach it through the tools, which are wherein you work with your hands. So we have a very specific pedagogy, which is also working in many schools now. Even in Maharashtra, it spread through different channels. It's called two-step pedagogy. First, any concept you have to teach. Whenever you are introducing any concept, you actually introduce it through tools or with some activity, and then you translate it into alphanumerics. So whenever, very simple examples could be like when you are introducing numbers to children, do not write on the board. Introduction of numbers should happen through various activities, through various tools. Like it could be, you want to teach them just number one, it should be taught with, like, this is one, right? You're showing fingers, or you are clapping, that's another activity. You ask them to jump once, so it becomes one. So what is the numberness of one? It should happen in their mind. So they first learn the numberness, and then you teach them how to write it. Our whole focus has been, even in kindergartens, has been how to write and what to call it. So we move away from such things. So first go through concepts and then go into alphanumerics. That is our method. And it's not just for first or second grade, it is right up to KG to PG is what those things are. Many complicated concepts can also be taught through tools, and there is a very specific module that we have. Along with that, we have, again, this is for children, but has to be done by parents. Parents as in teachers. Teachers are also social parent, right? So we work for children, but through parenting and through parents and teachers. That is how we are. So for teachers, we conduct multiple workshops, how to teach a particular set of concepts in mathematics as well as in science. On the science side, we do not only look at subject or the textbook, but we go beyond that into the concept, each concept, how it should be connected with, integrated with science or integrated with other social science aspects. So there are various programs. We call, one of the program is daytime astronomy. So if you want to learn astronomy, you don't need night. We have our biggest star, which is sun. So you can learn a lot of things along with sun. And I wish the sun was here, we could have learned something in our free sessions also. So many activities, many projects. The objective is clear. We all want to make Earth beautiful. We want to first of all retain it beautiful the way it is. And although it is for children, the responsibility is not with children. The responsibility is with adults, because one, we have got it from someone else, and secondly, we are the ones who are supposed to do it. It's our responsibility. So we work in both these organizations. They are totally different, but still kind of working together. And I'm partly involved in both. In Palakneeti, I'm on the editorial board as well as on the trust board. So I work with slum children, their donations, getting things together, policies, everything. And in Navanirmiti, as a part of as a resource person, we conduct workshops for teachers, etc. I hope this introduction is enough for for you to probably ask me any questions. And everything is available on website, so that once that is shared, anyone can just scroll through and find out. I just wanted to share the philosophy, if you will.
How many people in your group right now?
In Palakneeti, we are about 25, of which 18 people are working in Khelghar for slum children, and rest of us are on the editorial board. By the way, along with the magazine which is on parenting, we also run another magazine called Shaikshanik Sandarbha. Now Sandarbha again is only exclusive science and maths kind of विज्ञान शिक्षणामधली रुची ज्यांना आहे, पुन्हा ते मुलांसाठीच रन होणारं मॅगझिन आहे आणि त्यामध्येही अगदी छोट्या छोट्या कन्सेप्ट्सपासून आपण गोष्टी करतो. आता ते ऑनलाईन स्वरूपातच फक्त छापलं जातं. संदर्भ पालकनीती अजूनही आपण प्रिंट मीडियाचा वापर करतो. त्यातले 18 जणांचं मी म्हणेन की खेळघरचं जे काम आहे दॅट इज डोनेशन बेस्ड, बिकॉज अनेक तिथल्या ताया ज्या काम करतात किंवा जे लोक काम करतात त्यांचं थोडा तरी उपजीविकेचं आपल्याला बघावं लागतं. अजून 7-8 जण जे व्हॉलेंटियर्स आहेत ते दे आर ऑनरेड, म्हणजे त्यांचं काही दे आर वर्किंग एज व्हॉलेंटियर्स. हां हां, डहाणूकरच्या मागची बाजू नाही, डहाणूकर कॉलनीत आपण शिरलो की त्याची मागची बाजू जिथे त्याची टेकडीसारखं आहे ना, हां नाही अलीकडेच आहे बरंच, तर तिथे गोसावी वस्ती आणि म्हणजे बरेचसे हां लक्ष्मीनगरची वस्ती. हां हां लक्ष्मीनगर वस्तीमध्येच खेळघराचं काम चालतं.
Sorry, one more question. You have been doing it for so many years, this Palakneeti. So how do you invite articles? I mean, you have a small team, what I understand. How do you create these articles every month?
Yeah, that is a challenge in a way, an opportunity. So obviously you connect through connections, you read, you talk to people, you think and then come out, you brainstorm. So it is a challenge and an opportunity, I would say. But there are many people who are in a way connected. Like for instance, if I, not just if, tomorrow, whenever there is something that is supposed to be on the area of water conservation or sewage treatment. Now one would ask a question, what is it to do with parenting? त्यांनी काय फरक पडतो, पेरेंट्सला काय घेणं देणं या गोष्टीचं, असं नाही आहे ना. पेरेंटिंग इज नॉट जस्ट अबाउट दररोजचं काहीतरी खायला प्यायला डबे देणं. इट इज अबाउट की अरे हे माहिती आहे का अँड काय करायला हवं आपल्या एरियामध्ये. म्हणजे टुमॉरो समवन रीड्स हिज आर्टिकल और हिज थॉट्स ऑन वाय बंद हे चेकडॅम्स आर नॉट इम्पॉर्टंट. त्याचा दररोजच्या तुमच्या आयुष्यात कदाचित फरक पडणार नाही आहे, बट इट इज अ लॉंग टर्म थिंग, राईट. यू विल ईदर सपोर्ट or not support or do something in that area, or might just spread the word ki are nahi, I have heard this and I think check dams are they have their own limitations. Taking a stand is also parenting, right? So असा तो सगळा मला असं वाटतं की प्रत्येक गोष्ट पालकनीतीमधले लेख सुद्धा दे रन राईट फ्रॉम एज्युकेशन, पर्यावरण, मॉल संस्कृती, शॉपिंग, आपली वाढती महागाई, आपण त्याचं काय करतोय नियोजन, आर्थिक स्वातंत्र्य, जेंडर, हे सगळ्याचा मिळून आपण बघितला पाहिजे जो पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह येतो. सो एव्हरीथिंग इज एनकम्पासिंग. सो इट्स नॉट की पालकत्व म्हणजे असं साईडला कुठेतरी वेगळं आपल्या घरामध्ये करायचं आणि मग बाहेर काहीतरी वेगळंच करायचं. एव्हरीथिंग इज कनेक्टेड आणि इट शुड बी लुक्ड ॲट इट दॅट वे. तर मग आपण जे सगळे म्हणतो की माणसाची ग्रोथ होईल, पण माणसाची ग्रोथ होत असताना सिस्टीमची पण ग्रोथ व्हावी लागेल. असं एक माणूस फक्त मोठं झालं आणि मग ते होईपर्यंत त्याची जाण्याची वेळ येते. सो इन अ वे if everything happens simultaneously is how we will actually be able to achieve anything that we think about. नाहीतर ती फक्त स्वप्नच राहतील ना. अशा अर्थाने हे सगळं आपण काम करतो. हां मी एकच होतो.
difficult part of that because the photo वगैरे दाखवून आपल्याला हे करतात. Parenting is a little bit subtle and it's vast. And I definitely see a lot of parallels between what Monica madam is doing, what Bodhankar sir is doing, and Priya is doing. So I definitely want you guys to connect and
just show की आम्ही एक थोडंसं
I just wanted to add an interesting perspective. So recently I was invited for the G20 meeting. It had a complete section on role of parents, caregivers and community as a big initiative under G20, under pedagogical skills and it was foundational learning and numeracy. आपला जो focus आहे तो science कडे पटकन जातो. It is foundational learning and numeracy that should be a bigger focus than that's what they are saying.
FLN is a big thing in G20. As a part of Navanirmiti learning, numeracy we are on the part of numeracy we have done a lot of work and a lot of people are approaching us now that the FLN bus has started. But more than anybody approaching, there is, because we are a social organization and also want it's a universalization of maths and science. We have a lot of our materials which we have uploaded on our website, which is freely downloadable. So we are also not in the space wherein we want to just catch on to the bus and just mint more money per se. Although we are a socially, even if we are a social organization, especially Navanirmiti is not funding based. We are self-reliant, so we conduct our workshops, we get money and we subsidize it heavily to those who need it and also make our materials freely downloadable. Many of our resources are freely downloadable. We, make some of our tools which are up for selling and that's how we raise our money also. There is more to talk about. You should visit our office, let's sit together, understand what we are doing, how, more how we can get connected. पालकनीती 35 वर्ष झाली. नवनिर्मितीचं काम 25 वर्ष आहे. So Navanirmiti has also conducted workshops throughout India with many teachers. In Maharashtra also many government schools. And many tools once the tools were bought by the government and distributed to the schools. So many of our tools are now in the Jilla Parishad schools. The rest of the schools, what happens especially in Pune or in metro cities is they have too many people who are, trying to sell them something or the other. So they're just problem of plenty. So in metros, people know us. Sometimes they smartly, they would use what they want to use and we are fine with it. So ते एक 25 वर्षाचं काम आहे. No work can happen so suddenly. No? So it needs a lot of foundational work which was done by many people that are in both my organizations. I'm not the one who started it. I have joined them because I truly believed after I left Infosys, I believe that I want to actually support people and I want to carry that work forward and not necessarily just start my own because probably I didn't have one single idea after leaving that I wanted to passionately pursue. So thank you and we are 5 minutes early.
Okay, so from planning perspective, I would like to get from each individual or as a group, because you are both together, I would like Abhijit and Parikshit to, so would you like to, do we have a recording at lunch, this area, because that also is a very beautiful backdrop. But we'll have to take the system there. Or this is, huh? But okay. So we would like Gondolekar ji and everybody to give at least 5 to 10 minutes of their time, and we need not be whole quorum, need not be there, but we would like that we record you. Okay, especially people like Parikshit, both together. That's why I pushed both together, because your work is together. You also, Dinesh. Okay, Tatoskar ji, definitely for Kalki, because each of this singular clip we would like to load online. Modika ma'am, we would like to definitely know what your work you are doing in Uttarakhand, specifically Kumaon Mandal area. Okay, and I think you are from Almora, and he is also some work in Almora. He's already gone twice over there. Okay, so 1 to 2 o'clock is a lunch below. Those who would like to, we can take few cars down and come down, or we can walk down. Okay? Amrita